Let's get it.
And there's a whole bunch. And Elisha's going to be very happy to hear that there is something to be said about Skyler Bell.
So we got the Elijah special here. This is the Elijah special.
Elijah special.
EJ Holland has put in a prediction for Skyler Bell. Okay. Now, what's interesting about this recruitment is he's already visited Michigan, already been here. Michigan wants him. He would play the Z position for Michigan. Here's what's really interesting. We're going to find out how aggressive Michigan is here. The season's over. They got a lot of time, a lot of resources. They are pushing for Skyler Bell to commit to Michigan before he wants to do more visits. Michigan's saying, okay, we don't want you to do more visits. Come to Michigan. They're trying to close within the week. We'll see if they're able to achieve that. But this is definitely a player. And we talked about earlier, you had Donovan McCulley at the X. You got Skyler Bell at the Z. Big playmaker for Connecticut. Actually, he blew up last game. I should have that. I should have had that here. He blew up. I think he definitely had a touchdown. Let's see. He showed out in his bowl game. But I got it right here. So Skyler Bell had in his game 77 yards, touchdown, 3 receptions, big playmaker. The kid's a problem. He is a good player. I know Elijah's looking out for him. Let's be on the lookout for that. Michigan's trying to close. Our next update is Troy Stellato. This is the Tennessee wide receiver that Michigan's trying to get on a visit to Michigan right now. He's a 6'1" wide receiver. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Not Tennessee, Clemson. It's an orange school. My bad. That's on me. Clemson wide receiver that Michigan's trying to get on a visit right now. Michigan is in contact with multiple wide receivers. Here's what I can guarantee you. I promise you this. Michigan will land another receiver or 2. I will guarantee 1. They're working to get 2 more. So we'll see what Michigan do. They're trying to bolster this wide receiver room. Troy Stellato. Now the thing for me though on this player, the production's not that high. Now he is a big body receiver. I believe he was, and I'm gonna look it up right now. I believe he was a fairly highly ranked recruit coming out of high school. I got it right here. He was ranked. All right, so he was a 4-star, top 247 player. Actually, he was ranked in the top 200 for Clemson. 6'1" wide receiver. We'll see what the boys can do there. Now, this one's very interesting. The next wide receiver I'm going to give you, and by the way, all the receivers I'm listing to you guys right now is not, I can confirm this, is not the mystery wide receiver that is being rumored right now. The mystery wide receiver I spoke about earlier, we'll hit it right here. There is a mystery wide receiver. We'll give credit to Chris Ballas here. This is Chris Ballas. This is not me. Apparently, there's a wide receiver that is on a playoff team right now that Michigan is in contact with. Now, not the player himself, because that's tampering. We don't do that shit. Michigan plays by the rule books, always in it forever. We don't cheat like Ohio State. So they're in contact with the agent, which is legal. And apparently, there's a wide receiver that Michigan's talking to. I don't know who that is yet. I'm trying to figure it out, though. If I do figure it out, I'll let you guys know. I've sent some texts, but I'm not getting responses on it. We'll find out. But this next wide receiver is David Pentelis. Now, what's interesting about him is we're talking about an Ivy League kid. We're talking about Yale, but we're talking about extremely productive. Okay, we're talking 69 receptions, good number, 1,018 yards and 11 touchdowns. Now, what's interesting about this is when you got Donovan McCulley at the X, you get, if you are able to land Skyler Bell at the Z, you put David Pentelis at the Y. Okay, you do have weapons, and you do have players who produce very well. Skyler Bell was actually very productive at Connecticut. David Pentelis is very productive at Yale. He's a twitchy player. He is 5'10" or 5'11". Let me see. He's 5'11", so he's a 5'11" wide receiver, which is fine for a slot. No issue there. We'll see what the boys can do. Michigan appears to be in contact with them. We'll see if they can get a visit. They are working on a visit for him right now. Our next update is the oh shit, I fucked up, John. This is an offensive tackle. I know I have corner. I gave you when I sent you. So Shiyazh Pete.
It's an OT.
Yeah, that's on me. He's an offensive tackle, not a corner. Yeah. The image I sent you does have corner listed, so I don't know why. I don't even know how I did that. But anyways, he is a left tackle. This is the New Mexico State player. This is the 6'8", 330-pound lineman that Michigan is trying to close right now. Michigan has offered him. Michigan has offered not only a scholarship, but an NIL package. He's looking to do other visits. Of course, agents are going to do that. They want him to play left tackle for Michigan. So this, and if we looked at my depth chart that I've shown you guys in the past, I don't have it pulled up right now. We have a need at left tackle and left guard and potentially right tackle. Well, what's interesting is this player here fills left tackle. Now, the next player we're going to talk about, and I'm gonna tell you guys exactly how to pronounce his name right now, because I have a translator. I have a translator who's helping me out with this. It is pronounced Fa'ali Lee Fa'amoy. And I will learn that if he commits to Michigan, I promise you. This is your right tackle. And Michigan's trying to land both these dudes. So you got Pete as your left tackle. You got Fa'amoy as your right tackle. And then we already saw with this offensive line, dude, put Andrew Struber at left guard. Okay, we got to fucking force. This offensive line's nasty. Land these dudes. We'll see what the boys can do. So what they're trying to do with Fa'amoy is it's between us. Here's your update, boys. It is between us and Nebraska.
Oh.
He's looking to decide this week. So we'll see what they can do.
Gotta pick Michigan. Come on.
Did he watch today's game? Because if you watch today's game, it's got to be Michigan.
It's
right?
O-line U. O-line U.
Another thing I was thinking about, John, is if I'm a donor and I got some fucking money, right? I'm pissed off looking at that offense. Let's do something about it. Portnoy. Update on Portnoy. Actually, never mind. Let's just say he should help more. Okay, so we'll leave it from there. I'm not trying to throw stones. Okay, David Gusta, next player we're going to talk about, defensive tackle. His dad loves Michigan. His dad even posted, and shout out to Dad, by the way, he was right. He said Michigan's going to beat Alabama. He was right. Shout out to David Gusta Sr.
David Gusta Sr., let's go.
He did. Michigan is working very hard to get a visit. Word is we're going to get one. And this is the player, guys. You get David Gusta next to Rayshawn Benny. You got Derek Moore, Jayshawn Barnum, TJ Guy in the rotation. You got Ernest Hausman, and then you got Jimmy Reuter at the will position. Boom, bro. Boom. You got Cole Sullivan coming up. You got Troy Bowles coming up. The front seven's looking good. Nathan Owasu Boateng. It's looking good, man. I mean, honestly, the boys are building a strong front seven. We got to get David Gusta, in my opinion. This kid is ranked the number 6th run-stopping defensive tackle in college football. Get this guy. This is a must, in my opinion. This is a must get. I don't want to hear no bullshit. Fucking get it done. Okay, so.
Oh, I'm excited for this one. Yeah. How do we stick it to Texas Tech? And how does Michigan? I don't know. I don't understand what Texas Tech just throwing bags. I don't get it. But they got that oil money. Michigan's got to be able to pull this guy.
Texas Tech has woken up, bro. Texas Tech is a problem right now in the portal. So they're aggressive in recruiting as well. They got the money to do it. Well, here's the deal. Ty Haywood. There has been no visit officially announced, but Michigan is working to get one. This is a Texas Tech Alabama battle. Nothing new there. There is an expectation. This is the new. There is an expectation of a January visit. We have to get Ty Haywood because then you have Andrew Babaloa at the left tackle. You got your Ty Haywood at the right tackle. You got your bookend, your fucking bodyguards for Bryce Underwood. This is a serious recruitment and no bullshit. We know Texas Tech is coming to play, but Michigan has won a lot of battles, and they've won NIL wars. We've won a lot of them, guys. We won the Bryce Underwood one. We won the Justice Haynes one. We won the Shamari Earls one. We won the Nate Marshall. We've won a lot of these battles. This is another one. It's going to be an NIL war. And as I've told you guys before, the Queen is on this. Okay, the Queen wants Ty Haywood. Okay, and we talked about this before. And listen, I'm going to be real here. I've gotten some shit. I won't name no names, but you know who you are about this whole Queen thing. Hail the Queen, son. Going nowhere. Queen Jolene, shout out to you. We appreciate you. Long story short, they're working on it. Let's see if they can get a visit. We will update you when the visit becomes official or public. The next name we're going to hit on, this is very critical and important. Zaire Mathis. This is going to be your edge opposite of Nate Marshall. Okay, we need it. I need me some Zaire Mathis. Zaire Mathis is now officially, so we do know his visit. January 25th, the last visit out of all the visits he's going to be taking in January. He is very interested in Michigan. And Michigan is being aggressive here. So this is another one like Ty Haywood where they are being NIL aggressive. The teams we got to look out for: Oregon, fuck those guys. Florida State, Florida, and UCLA. I'm not worried about UCLA. Oregon's a problem. Florida State has money too. I'm not so sure. And I want to make this also clear. I'm not saying this is just a money battle, because not every recruitment is. Sometimes it is fit. Sometimes it is scheme. Sometimes it is development. I know damn well if I'm Zaire Mathis and I watched today's game against Alabama and I saw our defensive line dominate them, I want to play for Wink Martindale. So let's hope today was a very strong recruiting pitch. And we'll see what the boys can do. That's where we are. The next recruitments, John, is our 26 class.
All right. Yes. Including the number 1 running back
big time.
The 2026 class. Savion Hyder.
We're talking big time, bro. Here's what I feel confident in telling you guys. 25 was a strong class, looking to be top 6 in the nation with Haywood and Mathis. Michigan is going to attempt to achieve another top 5 class with 2026, and they're already off to a great start. Savion Hyder. I gotta be careful with that name.
Yeah.
Guess what? Michigan's number 1 for the number 1 running back in the nation. Michigan is number 1, and he loves Michigan. You know damn well he watched Jordan Marshall today, and you know damn well he's like, ooh, I want that. You know, give me Bryce Underwood. I got Bryce Underwood. He wants that. So this is major. This kid is legit. We should have pulled up his huddle tape, John. I mean, I know I threw this on you last minute. This kid's that dude. This is what it is. You go get the number, just like you got the number 1 quarterback, you get the number 1 running back, and they are after it. And Michigan is aggressive here. And here's what's interesting. So Savion Hyder wants to finish taking all of his visits. He wants to do official visits. So that'll be sometime. I think official visits kick off in May. There's going to be a dead period in July. So it's going to be new this year. So I believe May and June is when official visits are going to kick off. The schools that we are battling are Georgia, Ohio State, fuck those guys, and Tennessee. Now, these are all power players. We know this. So we're going to have to be on the lookout here. We'll see if Michigan can pull it off. But the good news is we're currently number 1. I will say this too. I've heard Michigan's trying to close it sooner than later. So we'll see what they can do here. The next running back I want to talk about as John works on pulling up Hyder's huddle. And we will, just so you guys know, we will stay on top of all these recruitments. 2026 season is upon us, guys. So we will definitely be on. So we're going to get our focus. Our focus is going from 25 in portal to 2026. We're going to have all the updates for you. I'm already building my recruiting board as we speak. The next thing we're going to talk about is the number 5 running back in the nation, and that is Javion Osborne. He also has Michigan as number 1. Now, here's what's interesting. You may say, and you may think to yourself, well, shit, we're only going to get 1. You're not going to get both. Well, Javion Osborne's actually telling Savion Hyder, no, let's Sonic and Knuckles this. Let's be a duo, 1-2 punch this. We can be a dynamic, backfield if we both play with each other. We can help each other. We can this way all of us are not taking the load. This is the number 1 running back in the nation, by the way, who Michigan's currently number 1 for. So you land both these dudes, right? That's serious. So we'll see what Michigan can do here. Now, here's what's really interesting. Now we're talking about Tristan Keys. Now, this is where Michigan's in new territory. Tristan Keys is the number 1 wide receiver in the nation. Here's what's interesting about 2026, guys. Michigan is going after the number 1 player at a lot of positions. Michigan is not afraid to get into these recruitments anymore. They're not afraid to get the elite talents at all these different positions. Tristan Keys is the number 1 wide receiver for 2026. Michigan is right now pushing to get him to make a visit to Michigan. We will keep you guys updated on when that will be. 2026 is going to heat up. It typically heats up around March. It snowball effects into the summer. What's interesting this year, as I already talked about, July is going to be a dead period, I believe. And so that's typically not normal. Typically, that's a big recruiting month for Michigan. We'll see how they adjust or how they reschedule things like barbecue at the big house. It's typically in July. It won't be this year. So we're going to be on the lookout, man. Michigan, here's the beautiful thing I could tell you, and I've already kind of hit on it. We are not afraid to get into aggressive NIL recruitments. And this is why I have the theory, and I think I'm right. So my hypothesis, I'm sorry, I know someone's going to correct me. So my working hypothesis is recruiting is the priority. The transfer portal is simply secondary. Maybe even they would even probably put it third on the priority list because retaining players is probably secondary. So that's where we are. And I think what Sean McGee's trying to do is build a long-term sustainable roster that is built through culture, right? Which I know a lot of you want to hear that. And I'm not just bullshitting you either. I really believe Michigan's trying to build the players from freshmen into seniors, instilling culture, which we saw all year, which is why we beat Alabama today, because we have culture and identity. And I believe that's what they're looking for. They don't want a roster full of portal players because then you start getting egos and attitudes and players who are just there for a check. These kids, yes, are getting paid, but they're being developed and, they are growing within the program. They are learning everything from not only on field, but off field. And I think that's the vision for Michigan. I'm excited for 2026. We will have all the updates for you as the year goes on. We are going to hit a dead period after January. So January, we should have a bunch of updates for you. There's going to be a bunch of visits. February, I believe, is a dead period. March, it picks back up. So stay tuned to Michigan at the Voice of College Football because we got you.
Absolutely. So you're seeing some of the tape here of this guy from the sophomore season, and just it's really encouraging to hear that he's the number one and also leaning Michigan. You know?
Yeah, to be in on this. So that's the beautiful thing too now. So because like last year, and we know this, Sharon Moore came into the season in February. So now you're building relationships, John, a year early. So you're getting in early on these recruitments, these power, these, I would say high, these elite talents, right? So because you're getting in early on these elite talents, you're building relationships. It's not simply just NIL, it matters, but it's also the relationship building. You get, when you add relationship building, program identity, and NIL, you can typically close a lot easier. And I think Michigan's going to do that in 2026.
It's only just getting started, folks. Watch this space because more to come. We have hit